And now you can talk about curling.
Okay, yeah. I briefly mentioned the Olympics with the beach volleyball. That is the only summer sport I watch in the Olympics. The winter sports is curling.
Everybody loves curling.
I love curling. I think it's because it's a sport that I look at. I'm like, I could do that. And I think it's kind of like bowling. It's kind of like, bowlers aren't athletes.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I would say not.
I mean, not in. Well, I mean,
they do a movement.
Okay, they're athletes, but they aren't what you picture an athlete to be.
No.
And that's kind of the way I look at curling. I'm like, hey, me and my buddies could go out there and probably figure that out.
Yes.
Well,
it's probably harder than it looks.
I don't think it is.
I think you're right.
I don't think it is.
I think that fucking broom is bullshit.
We've all played. I don't think there's a point in the broom. I think it's just that they needed some extra. Goof. I think they just needed to bring some friends along with them to get medals.
Yeah, I think it's a goof, and I think they do it, and then they laugh like hyenas at the end.
It's shuffleboard.
It is.
It's shuffleboard on ice. I mean,
it should be at the Peoria Civic Center.
Yeah. But I tell you what, I used to be in love. I wish I could remember her name. There was a Canadian curler. And she was like the most beautiful person I met. I met her.
Yeah.
It's like I personally felt like I knew her. I mean,
that's how much you were into her?
Yes, she was just. I wish I could remember her name. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But
yeah, you weren't that into her.
No. Well,
you were.
What's a name?
What's in a name?
Yeah,
it's not much.
Just, yeah. Okay, so
well,
that's about my sports knowledge right there.
I noticed that in 2000, whatever the Winter Olympics were around 2008, 2010, I don't know.
No
Whenever
idea.
that was, I remember being down at the River Beach pub, and curling was on, and everybody, including myself, was glued to that fucking team. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome.
It is.
And I don't know why.
I don't understand it.
It's incredibly boring.
It is. It's simple. It's boring. There's no action, but yet it's mesmerizing.
It is.
It is. You just watch it and you're just like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't get it.
Yeah, but it's really not that great. But it is great.
It is great.
It's one of those things like I don't understand why I like it.
Did you know there's curling teams in this area? I actually Googled it because that's how much I love it.
Do they play on ice?
Yes, they do.
At Owen Center or something?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
I would like to do that.
I don't want to be the guy with the broom.
No. Well, okay. I would want to be the guy with the broom as long as I know it's a goof.
As long as I know it's a goof.
Yes.
It's what is it? 4-man team because you got 2 people with the brooms
and 2.
You got 1 person just stands down there and screams a lot. Like that's going to help the stone.
Well, there's got to be some communication.
That's going to help the stone go where it needs to go when you're like
they call it a stone?
Yeah, they call it a stone. Because that's what it is. It's actually, if you look at those are actually big, giant rocks with handles on them.
Every rock should have a handle on it.
Every rock should have a handle.
Every rock above 20 pounds should have a handle. They should,
because they're easier to pick up that way.
Yeah, HR 137, we'd like to introduce this bill.
Yes.
Every rock over 20 pounds has to have a handle.
Should have a handle. It's easier to move.
That would create jobs.
It would.
A lot of jobs.
And a lot of new curlers.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Because you'd want to curl every rock.
Curling does not get the publicity that it should. Because I'm sure there's curling year-round. It's not just an Olympic sport.
Oh, no. Somebody played curling. Somebody did curling today.
Somebody curled today. Somebody's curling right now. And it needs to be
probably televised.
On television. Yes, it does.
It should be curling TV. CTV.
You know what? There's a channel for everything else. Why is there not curling TV?
Have you seen the marijuana channel?
I have not. I have not. I saw you say something about that on Apollo.
Yeah. Yes, whatever it is. Is that what it's called? Pluto.
Apollo, Pluto. It's all the same. Yeah.
Man, is that... It was great, but we never watched it again, which, I mean, we could watch it. We've been watching other shit.
Yeah.
There's so much to watch. Which is... Did it stop?
No, it's good.
Oh, okay. There's so much to watch, but that's pretty funny. It's good. It's great.
Yeah.
But I don't think you could just sit there and watch it all day, whether you're high or not. You couldn't do that.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't get it.
Do you smoke still?
I don't. I haven't. Oh my gosh! I think once since high school, and that's still probably been 20 years ago.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah, I just I have nothing against it. I'm all for legalization because of the tax money. It's just not my thing. You know.
I smoked a lot when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Well, you remember that during that time when I smoked a lot. I had the hair to prove it. But then I quit for a long time, and now it's once in a while. It's like I don't care. Yeah, I'll smoke it once in a while, but I can't smoke a bunch because I get super paranoid.
I used to get very paranoid. But when we were younger, it was different.
It was different.
You know, nowadays the stuff that people are smoking, it's marijuana. You know, when I was in high school, we were smoking marijuana laced with angel dust.
Were we?
Yeah, I was.
I wasn't.
Oh, yes.
That one time.
So I'm paranoid and tripping at the same time.
Well, see, I had that one time. I won't name names, but I got some. I had smoked marijuana like 10 times.
Yeah.
No buzz.
Yeah.
Tried it.
Oh.
I was like, this is bullshit. So I'll just say his name is Chad.
Okay.
And Chad got me some. He's like, I'll get you some weed. So he's like, I need some good weed. I'll pay for it or whatever. And you need to get that?
Nope.
You can.
No, I'm good.
Like, just go.
Actually, that's just a reminder to remind me to take my medicine.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Do you want to take it now? I'm taking mine. Mine's in the form of tequila.
Yeah, I don't have it with me, but I'm good.
Okay. Oh, well, then that's not... Is it something that you really need?
No.
Do I need to take you to the hospital?
Oh, no. It's just Prilosec prescription version.
Gotcha. Okay.
GERD, acid reflux.
So, do you have a marijuana story, though?
Do I have a what?
A marijuana story.
A story? Oh, I have lots of marijuana stories.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this one, then I want you to tell me a marijuana story.
Okay.
And this isn't going to, like, blow your mind, but...
Okay.
So what happened was Chad got me some, and he got me this little vial of it, and it was like... in hindsight, it was probably a nickel bag that I paid $25 or $30 for then in 1988.
Yeah, that's good stuff, or you got screwed.
No, it was good. I never smelled anything like it. So we go behind the high school, to somebody's house that lived there, and where there was a lot of dirt bikes in the garage.
Okay.
And we had this bowl, and three of us, two experienced smokers. I was kind of an experienced smoker, but not really. No, I wasn't. And I just kept loading this bowl up, and we were passing it around the tracks, on the railroad tracks. And we're smoking. And I smoked all of it. They quit. I didn't. I just kept smoking.
Why quit?
I smoked the entire thing. So like 4 bowls. And then we went in the garage. And I remember being in the garage, and I was sitting on a dirt bike that had no motor in it.
Yeah.
But it was on a crate. And I was just sitting on it. I was riding a lot of dirt bikes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, he's rebuilding this bike, And that was about the last thing I kind of remember like normal. And then the next thing I remember, we were walking on the tracks and we were going to get on a bus. We were freshmen.
Okay.
We were getting on a bus to go see the varsity football game, but we could ride on the bus because we were freshmen, so we had to go on the fan bus.
You took a fan bus. Yeah, we had fan buses for all those young kids out there that don't understand that.
Right. So yeah, because I don't know if they have that anymore.
I don't believe they do.
No, probably not. So we got on the fan bus, but before I could even get there, we were walking on the tracks, and there was like a 12-year-old girl walking with a 9-year-old girl, and they were like walking towards this. It's fall. It was still sunny out. It was like right after school.
Okay.
And we're walking, and I'm like, oh man, they're gonna know I'm high because I'm high, and I don't know I'm high because this first time I'm being high. So I'm like, oh shit. And I keep my head down. I can't possibly look at them.
No eye contact.
So I look up and they're gone, and I'm like, hey man, where'd those kids go? And of course my buddies start laughing, and they're like, well, what are you talking about? Like, man, there was 2 girls walking towards us. Where they at? Like, did they take? Like, that's weird. Like, they were almost coming to, and they're like, dude, we passed them a long time. I turn around, they're like 50 yards behind us. I'd been staring down, probably not breathing, maybe even giggling. I don't know, but I was like, oh shit. That's when I got freaked out. So then I was like, oh no, I did have a little bit of weed left because I had it in a Judas Priest cassette tape case.
That is awesome.
I got so scared that I took the cassette itself out. I threw it in the weeds, put my weed in the case because I know no one will ever look for it there.
No.
Put it in my coat and got it up to the school. Got a Barks root beer. I was so fucked up. I had no idea what was going on. And I forget the girl's name, but
Melissa.
Yes. No.
No, I mean
Hannah City.
Yeah.
Doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I don't want to say names.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But anyway, so she was like having a severe headache, migraine or something. And I'm watching her do this, and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh fuck. And the next thing I know, everybody's calling my name, and I'm like staring down on the, and people grab me. I'm like, what's going on? I just been standing there pouring Barks root beer down the front of my shirt. I was zoned out to somewhere. Then I had to get on that fucking fan bus. And then we get on there and
with all those people,
and everybody's telling everybody we gotta be quiet. So now I'm sitting on a bus, I'm in the seat by myself because the stoners didn't get on the bus. I did.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh fuck, and it's just quiet. Then I'm alone with my thoughts and the word. I mean, I might as well have been in one of those sensory deprivation things, and just freaking the fuck out. So I had to deal with that. I was super tired. We went to Pittsfield. I remember that's super far
Pittsfield,
away.
that's a long one.
And the next day, I slept all day at school. I was like in classes. I was exhausted. So I don't think it was laced.
It could have been,
but I was fucking exhausted.
It's funny. High school days were odd for me. I watch all these old, movies about 80s high school, and it's like I was not like a clique. It's like I was a little bit of everything.
Me too.
I played in sports, and I hung out with the popular kids. I hung out with the stoners.
Yes.
I hung out with the brains.
Yes.
And I was just cool with everybody.
Yeah.
And
that's why you and I hung out afterwards.
Yeah. I was just like cool with everyone. It was like, it's all good.
We relate to everybody.
But I smoked so much weed in high school. It was ridiculous. And I started young.
Did you get high then?
Oh my God.
Would you ever get paranoid then?
Oh, I got so paranoid.
Okay.
I was the worst. I either was paranoid or I was Instagrin. I was one of those. I was one of those guys that could take one hit and just automatically a huge grin on my face that would not go away, and laughter. It was. But I started in my freshman year.
Me too.
It's weird because
you're a sophomore when I was a freshman, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
My freshman year, my first day of high school, everybody was so scared to death of high school. Well, I walk into high school my first day of my freshman year, and the senior girls thought I was someone who had graduated the year before me's younger brother. They thought that's who I was. So they immediately gravitate toward me. But even when they found out that's not who I was, they were still cool with me. So
nice.
Like for my first day of my freshman year, I'm off at lunch getting high with the senior girls. So, I'm like, this is awesome.
Baller.
I'm like, this is awesome.
Nobody else had that. Joe Fontana had that.
Joe Fontana did, and he actually knows the girls.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
That's and so, but I smoked a lot of weed. And drank a lot of alcohol.
Me too.
A lot.
Yeah.
I used to have one of those big, I went through that punk phase.
I remember.
I still like punk.
I didn't relate to you then.
No, I still love punk music, but I used to wear the big army green field jacket.
I like that.
I mean,
everybody liked that.
And you didn't. What people did not understand is I had a pint of Jack Daniels in one of those pockets and a pint of vodka in the other one, and I drank all day at school.
Cool.
Got high every day at lunch, and most of my high school years I don't remember, because I was so screwed up. And you want to know the best part? I was class president 3 or 4 years.
That's beautiful.
It was funny.
Well, consider Gene Ayton was drinking booze the whole time.
Well, and that's just it. Kids nowadays don't get it. I mean, it was so much different. I'm sitting in algebra class with you know who the algebra teacher was.
Yes.
And I would sit in the front row, and he would know I had algebra right after lunch. And he would look at me and say, Brice, can you go up to the board and do this problem, or did you smoke too many left-handed cigarettes at lunch? Nice. That's what he referred to it as, left-handed cigarettes.
They all did.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we also had shop class, which kids nowadays don't know what that is. No, they don't have shop anymore. Now they have macrame or something. But we had wood shop, metal shop. And we had really cool shop teachers. So in wood shop, we're making hitter boxes. In metal shop, we're making hitters. And they were only confiscated if they were good enough.
Really?
Yes.
Is that how that went down?
Yes. If you made them too good, the teachers would confiscate them for their own personal use. You know,
Was that Paul?
that was Pilly and Berglund.
Yes.
Yes, I will never forget those two. Typical 70s porn star look.
Burnouts.
Yeah, big mustaches and sideburns.
And they were cool.
They were awesome.
Yeah, they were cool dudes.
Shop was. I'm surprised more kids didn't die in shop.
You know, I never took shop, any of those.
I took.
Can't believe
I took shop the whole time, and I cannot believe there were not more shop related deaths.
I can't believe I never went.
I remember, let's say, me and this one guy, we'll call him Jay. You know, we would go into. We had a room that was for lacquering, where you had, you know, this room that once you got done with your little wood project, whatever you made,
fumes.
yeah, you would shut the door and you turn on these big vents and you had these like wand things, like a car wash, you know, but they sprayed lacquer. Well, me and Jay would go in there and not turn on the vents. So we would be in this room spraying lacquer and it would just be a fog. And we're in there just
giggling,
getting high as hell, destroying every single brain cell in our head.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
You know, it's
that's a great. That's
it was the best time.
Yeah.
High school was. I loved high school.
I hated high school.
Yeah, a lot of people say that, but I had fun. I made fun. I was lucky. I was a smart guy. I'm not bragging about it, but I never studied. I was basically a straight A student.
I never studied either, but I got straight D's.
Yeah, and see, so high school bored me, kind of like people do.
Yep.
So I went to high school just to make people laugh. And then that was my goal every day was, you can call me the class clown, call me whatever you wanted to, but my goal was to go, and I ended up getting a little carried away and I'd get in trouble a lot and disruptive to the kids that needed to learn. I see that now.
Well, sure.
You know, but then my whole goal was to go to school and have a good time. You know, so.
I was just the opposite. I hated my house. I hated living at home.
Yeah.
Because of Judy, you know, stepmom.
Okay.
And she's been dead for.
I can't. Years. I don't remember if I know her or not.
No, you did. You wouldn't have. Not too many people did because no one ever came to my house because of her.
But we lived across the street from each other for a long time. Was that for a while? Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah, you lived in a greenhouse on Northwest Street, and I lived right across the street from you in a big white house.
Which house?
I don't know. You lived in a greenhouse on the corner.
The house was green for a while.
I lived directly across the street.
Street.
Northeast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lived directly across the street from you in a big white house.